looks like we're rocking and rolling, man. So, hey, man, thank you
Nice.
for coming on the call. I'm glad we finally get to connect. I know we've, gone back and forth on social media and stuff like that every now and then.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on the call is because I know you're kind of in a transition right now in a way where you're still working the job, you want to do the business, you're kind of in a double bind in a way because if you go all in with real estate wholesaling, then your current income as of now might suffer, right? But like, what's the double binder? Like, if you go all in, maybe you could really start pumping out a bunch of deals, and you can leave your 9 to 5 once and for all. So kind of mainly, I just kind of this is more like a chit chat. Just want to connect with you, but also kind of get to know a little bit about your story and in your background and how did you kind of get started in real estate? Why did you pick real estate wholesaling and all that? So why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got into real estate?
I had a landscaping business years ago, and I was sick of doing that, and I wanted to get into something else because I got sick of being in the sun. And then I saw a commercial with this guy, and he was selling like a course, and he was talking all about. His name was Russ Whitney. That's a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, it
I don't know
is.
if you ever heard, but I kind of watched the promotion. He was talking all about real estate, and I go, man, I bet I could do that. And so I really wanted to be maybe an agent at first. So I went and got my agent's license and I tried that, and that really didn't work. It was just so much
Mm,
work. I just didn't like it. And I started getting construction jobs through some of the agents and stuff. So then a friend of mine, he ran into a bunch of money. He bought a bunch of houses and he was like, well, get your license and you could come work on all my houses. And I was like, okay. So I just went and got that license. I got the contractor's license and a real estate license, but I don't
yeah.
really use the real estate license at all, but I still have it. And then, so then I started rehabbing all his houses. He was buying them at the auctions. And then
Mm,
just from watching online and stuff, I started learning about wholesaling, and I had gotten like a course, but it kind of just showed you what to do, like how to do a deal, but it really didn't show you how to turn it into a business like yours does.
got
It
it.
just
Got it.
how to hang signs, and I did. I went out and I hung some signs, at night, and I actually got a deal. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my goodness. Really? What market are you in? San Bernardino, right?
In San Bernardino, yeah. So I live kind of near Redlands, but it actually worked. But I was so excited about it, but I just gave up because I couldn't turn it really into a business. It was just like a
Right.
one. I wasn't really getting that many calls, and it took a lot of work putting out those signs. It was dangerous, and
Yeah. So it was
I
kind of
got a
like a
call.
one hit wonder type of deal.
It was, yeah, but it kind of taught me, about it and stuff. And then I kept looking at people that were rehabbing and stuff, and I thought, man, you know what? And me doing the works and doing rehabs, I know how much work it is.
Oh
It's a
man.
lot of work. I mean, yes, you can make money, but it takes time.
Yeah,
And everything got to be right. You got to find the right buyer. The house has got to be fixed up nice.
exactly.
You got to money out of pocket to even get going in it. I mean, I haven't even gotten going in that yet because it's so expensive. But we live in California, man. The prices aren't cheap.
Oh
You
no,
know,
they're
I,
definitely not, man. They're definitely not. Absolutely.
I see on Facebook, and they're buying houses for 20 grand. I'm like, you ain't in California
Oh
buying no house.
man, you're definitely not in California. Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I remember back in 2011, one of the first things that I started doing as well, because I didn't have any money. I was kind of dabbling at the time as well, and I went out at night and I started putting out bandit signs. I would put them up on poles. I had this stick with a stapler and just get them up there. And
Yeah,
that really never really worked for me. I never got a deal off of that, but I know. I mean, that's the starting point for all of us. A lot of people. One of the things that holds a lot of investors back is that they don't have money to deploy in marketing. And that's why
right.
it's important to also know how to generate leads on a low cost. Because here's the deal: the bottom line is I mean, if you're working a job, that's a good thing because at the same time you can use that income to deploy some marketing, right? And you can have leads coming in on demand. But for people that don't have jobs, like they got to find a way. Like there are many ways to get started with very little money, but you know, it's all about the marketing and being consistent, right? So you did a deal. You did a
Yeah.
deal. Tell me about the deal a little bit.
The one that I just did,
Yeah, like
the one that
how'd you get the lead? What was it about? You know, give me the details.
yeah, absolutely. So the first thing was I saw you on an interview a couple years ago with Todd Toback. That's where I first saw you.
Mm,
I was like, I listened to it and I was like, man, this guy's in San Diego and he just seemed like he started with nothing. You kind of told your story and
yeah.
I really, you were in this area too, Riverside, I believe.
Yep.
And so I was like, man. And then I tried looking you up, but I didn't really see any information on you after that. And then you all of a sudden had this course and I was just like, oh, there's that guy. I'm gonna get his course because I want to do wholesaling. And so I got your course. And what I did was I kind of went through it and I just started mailing. You know, I didn't really have enough money to hire somebody to do the mailing like you recommend, but
Right.
I just went and found like a mom and pop shop and I got a postcard. I think it was one of yours or it might have been something similar to yours. And I kind of just followed your course and just went down there and got them made. And then I just put the stamps on them, me and my wife. And then we mailed out 2,000 of them. But the
Oh
funny
wow.
thing is, yeah, we mailed them out, but I didn't get a call for like about a month. The guy called me. One
Oh
lady
wow.
called me. I kept following up on her. She had relatives that lived in there, and she didn't want to kick them out because they were going to be homeless. So I kept, following up with her, but eventually she was just like, I can't kick my family out. And then all of a sudden, I was working on a job, and this guy called me, and he's like, yeah, I got two houses on one property, and I want to sell them. You know, I owned them for 30 years, and they were up in Big Bear. It's up in the mountain area,
Mm.
kind of where we live. Have you heard of Big Bear? They
Oh
got
yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, I go up there all
so,
the time, and I've done some deals up there as well. Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. So he had renters in it, and so I told him, oh, well, can I go look at the property? And he was really nice, and I go, yeah. And he was just asking me if I could buy it, and I go, yeah, absolutely. I go, me and my partners. I just said I had a partner, and so I went, looked at it, and the renter was there, and he didn't want the renter to know that I was going
Mm,
up there to look at it. He wanted to know I was selling in case I couldn't buy it.
right.
So I was a contractor, so he just told, oh yeah, I got this contractor coming up there to look at the painting. So I went and met with him, looked at it, and it was in really good shape. And so I was like, oh man, I gotta get this thing. So I called him back and I looked up on Zillow how much it was worth. And it was kind of hard because it wasn't in a neighborhood, it was kind of out. It
Right.
had like an lot. And I told my brother about it and see if he wanted to buy it because he had some money, but he didn't have enough. And the deal was worth about 300,000.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I called the owner back and I go, well, how much do you want for it? What would you take for it? He's like, well, I'll take 150 for it. And I was like, oh my God, that's a deal. So I go, well, would you take 140? And he said, yes. So I printed out your contract that you had.
Yep.
Simple, one contract. Anybody could, understand it. I just printed it out, kind of changed a few things, went over to his house because he lived in Ukaipa, another place, a city next to Redlands. Yeah, I went over there, met with his wife, they signed it. And what happened was I couldn't find a buyer right away. I knew a few people, but I
Mm,
didn't really have time to search for buyers like your course recommends, which I should be doing. That's what I'm doing now.
right. Right. Right.
But yeah, so I had my brother about to buy it. I knew this other guy that wanted to buy it, but they couldn't come up with the money right away. And so 2 weeks had went by, and the guy was like, he was ready to drop out of the deal.
The seller was.
Yeah, the seller was.
Oh
He wanted
wow.
five. He called me. He said, "Hey, I want $5,000 to make sure you're going to buy this thing." I kept staying in touch with him and calling him. And then I was like, $5,000. I was like, well, okay, I'll get it to you, And I kept searching for buyers and I couldn't find anybody. And then finally one day he called me and he was just like, man, I think we're just going to go a different route because you haven't come through, yet.
Mm,
And I was like, And I go, I swear I got my partner. I'm just wondering which one's going to do it. Just give me another day. And I found this guy on Facebook, and he bought a house up there, and I called him, and he was like, sure, let me run the numbers real quick. And he did. And I go, the guy wants $5,000 down. And he's like, all right, I'll drive right out there. He drove out and bought it the next day.
Really?
I go, I'll sell it to you for $150 if you come by it by tomorrow. Because I was really going to charge him $160, so I would have made $20,000.
Wow.
I could not believe it. Oh man, I was just like shocked. Like, this isn't real. There's no way I'm going to make $20,000 this easy. It was just a few simple phone calls, and then I just went up and looked at it, and I met with him. It was so easy, and it was all through your course. I just was following it, what you said to do, and then. So the guy ended up coming buying it, but I sold it to him because I didn't want to lose the deal, so I knocked it down to 10. Still made 10,
hey,
so I was still happy.
10K is a good day, right? Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, beautiful deal right there. When I hear those numbers, what I'm thinking is like you could have easily sold that, for 210 in this market right now. Like 200, like you could have made like at least 50, 60K right now, but hey, the first deal I did the same thing, and it was right around when I put out that podcast that you heard with Todd, and that was a deal that now that I look back, right, I could have made 30,000 on it, but I let it go for 10. So yeah, I mean it's something that we do when we're learning, but as you start learning. Now you start, once you start getting your buyers list, you become the go-to person. You become, you're adding value to these people, right? Because you're basically creating the inventory. So you call the shots at that point. You call the shots. You mark the property up. Even if you think it's crazy, just mark it up. You can't really lose by marking it up, except if it's not moving, you just lower the price. Lower the price, right? And that's how you get like big 20, 50, $60,000 deals like that. So your next one, I want to hear about it. I know it's going to be a bigger one. I want at least a 30K for the next one.
Yeah, that happened again. I don't think I'm going to try not to.
Oh no. Now that we're working together, don't worry about that. We're going to make sure that you squeeze all the juice that you can out of every single deal. So that's awesome, man. I love how you just kind of went in there. You took a step of faith, and you started just. You put out a few postcards, even though you didn't have that much money. And out of that, you got in a position where you could get lucky, right? Like people say, hey, well, it's all that guy's lucky. Look, he's getting all these things. Well, not really. Like the reality is we put ourselves in positions by taking action to get lucky, to get those type of motivated seller leads. And that's what's most important, to keep consistent. So that's awesome, man. I love hearing about that. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad we were able to help you with the course and everything. So where are you at now, Sean? Like, tell me about. So you did that deal, and then what happened? Like, kind of. I mean, I'm sure you were excited. You were full of hope, and you were full of just excited about the possibilities that could happen with this business, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So the funny thing is. The guy that I wholesaled it to, he liked me. He knew I told him I was a contractor, so he lived in Las Vegas, and so he hired me to fix them. So I had my crew fix them, so I got paid for that. And then he's just now got it in escrow for $290, so he's making like,
oh wow,
I think 20,000 off of it. And then he bought another one, and then he's having me rehab that one too.
Okay.
So, but as far as the wholesaling business, I'm trying to I've been mailing a few, but not many. Now I'm mailing for the buyers, but I'm trying to, put everything together, like the click funnels and the telephone system and the Podio and all that kind of stuff. Even if I don't make anything right away, I just want to get the system in place so that, I'll know if calls come in. Because I was just using a notebook pad. At first, just to write the guy's name in, and I followed up with them. I mean, it was only two leads, But now I want to get it on the computer and turn it into a business like your course teaches.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I want it to
important, man.
be wonder where I mail a few postcards here and there and maybe get a check every few months. I want to get like multiple checks each month.
Absolutely. So what's the biggest thing that's holding you back right now, man? Like,
Um,
I mean, it sounds like this happens to a lot of investors, by the way. Don't first of all, like, it's normal. Like, this is a normal thing. Like, a lot of investors, we do a deal, and then we kind of like, even though there's like excitement and all that, like, and then we kind of stop, and then we go again, and then we do some more marketing, and maybe you do another deal, and then you kind of stop again. So you're kind of like in the stop and go cycle,
yeah,
right? And that's because you're kind of in the middle, like you're I see this a lot with like new investors that are kind of getting started that are still not full time. Like it takes a lot to take that big step and just go full time into the real estate investing business. So and a lot of it is just up here, you know. But so kind of where are you at right now? Like I know you just said you want to get the systems in place. Like that's pretty simple. I mean, you basically need the phone system and you need the right CRM, which is we're using Podio, um,
right.
which is really cool because it's got all the automations and all that. But like aside from the systems, once you got those systems set up, like what's holding you back from being consistent in your marketing and being able to make offers? Because here's the bottom line: if leads are coming in, right, and offers are
Right.
going out, you pair like if you pair those two together, it's impossible not to do deals. If leads
Right.
are coming in and somehow you're somebody's talking on the phone with them and giving them a cash offer for their property, it's a numbers game and you will put contracts together, right? So like my main thing is to try to help you, like what's holding you back to being able to be consistent in your marketing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my job because it's real physical, so I'll be wanting to do something, and when I come back from work about 4 o'clock, but then I'm so tired after I eat, I'll sit
Hmm.
down, and then I'm like
Yeah.
so tired. That's kind of been part of it. And then the fear of even success, because I'm like, wow, man, I can't believe I'm going to be able to actually make that kind of money and do it. So it kind of paralyzes you, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I'm trying to like take a day off now from work and
Okay.
then just commit it doing real estate and stuff. And a lot of my jobs, I got guys that work for me, so I can set them up and then I can leave, and I'm trying to set it up to where they can go buy the materials themselves and give them
Hmm.
like a Home Depot card, so I don't have to go buy it and then bring it back because then it's just wasting so much of my time.
Yeah.
And then I had gotten jobs that were kind of far away from here, so then you're sitting on the freeway for a couple hours.
Mm.
That kind of when you get home, it's late and you're tired. But
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a sad excuse, but I really want to do this, because I'm so sick of this job that
Yeah.
I'm doing now.
No, 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 and I wouldn't say it's a set excuse. I would just say, it just. I'm glad we're having this conversation because it is what it is. Let's just call it what it is, and that's where you are right now. Now, this is where you want to be, and this is where you are right now. Like, there's a gap in the middle. Like, what needs to happen in order for you to
Right.
get here? But first, we ought to define like what this is. Like, where is that? Why are you even in this business? Like, why do you want to do this so bad? Like,
Yeah, I do it because I have a daughter, and I never get to see her hardly because she lives with her mom. She doesn't live with me, but she only lives a few miles away. And she's just been getting older. And I look back at each year, and I'm like, man, I really haven't had that much time with her. She's a
mm,
mommy's girl, so she really likes to spend time with her mom. But if I had more free time and I wasn't working like I am in my construction business, I would have more time to hang out with her. And that's really what it's all about for me. I'm not looking to become this billionaire or nothing. I just want to make enough money to buy anything I want and be able to mostly to have free time to
mm,
go do stuff with her and, just do things that I like doing instead of always working on my business. And, I work
yeah,
on the week sometimes and I'm
yeah.
getting older. Like, man, I want more free time is the big thing
Mm.
for me,
Time, my
and
man. Time. It's all. Time is the biggest thing. Okay, that's we're getting some
I don't need,
clarity now.
yeah, I don't need to be driving Mercedes or nothing like that. I like lifted trucks, but and classic cars, but you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I just want to live, you
Okay.
know, time.
Okay. Well, that's good because time is really all that matters. Every moment that we have right now, you and I talking, this is time that we won't get back. But this is
Right.
time. This is valuable time. Like this is time that we're getting to spend with the people that we want to spend and doing what we want to do. Right. So I think your biggest thing is time, based on everything that you're telling me. So, do you have any issues with being consistent in marketing if you had time to field the leads? Let me ask you that. Would you be able to
Yeah.
be consistent, maybe committing to, a certain amount of marketing dollars per month? Let's just say, would you be able to do that if you had the time, if you knew in your mind that these leads were actually going to be talked to and get an offer?
Absolutely, yes. I have a good but. I mean, I can spend 1,000 to 1,500 a month because I
Okay.
keep my bills low.
Yeah.
I don't have any car payments. Our rent on our place, we bought it when the market was low. Me and my wife, so our rent, our mortgage is low, so I don't really have that many, bills. So I can
Okay.
spend money
Okay.
on it. I definitely think I could.
Here's the biggest thing I would say for you specifically. Because if you have the budget and you're able to generate those leads consistently there and what I would say is you need somebody to actually field the calls and only give you the leads that actually want that are qualified. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like somebody, maybe
absolutely.
like a virtual assistant. Let's just say you
Okay.
drop 1,500 bucks on marketing, you get I don't know, 100, 200 leads, 300 leads, whatever. Um, and out of those leads, you have somebody as soon as they're coming in, you got a virtual assistant talking to them and getting them qualified, and then the ones that pass through that filter, then they get passed on to you. And now you can only talk to the ones that actually matter and they're actually interested. Um, that's the biggest thing that I would say that would help you right now because if you want to keep working, you got to keep working and but knowing that your leads are being talked to, and then when you get home, you only have a handful of ones that you need to talk to and make offers on. Does that make sense?
Right. Oh
So
yeah,
that's
absolutely. Yeah,
so
that's a
that's
great idea.
yeah. That's the biggest thing I would say that would definitely help you. I mean, I got, for example, we do campaigns. We probably drop. We used to drop about 60 to 80,000 a month. We kind of dropped it down right now and just niched it in to about 30K a month. And what happens is I got voicemails that go directly to my sales reps. Just so they're already getting the voicemails and they're talking to the voicemails right off the bat. But then we got all these hangups, right? And there's thousands of them. And then I got a virtual assistant that has speaks really good English, and they're calling them on this. We basically export that list of hangups. Maybe we've got 1,000, 2,000, and we put them into a software called Mojo. It's basically an automatic dialer, and they're on there all day long with a short little script, just going through those leads. And we just did one for 50,000. We just locked up another one just recently, and we're probably going to do about another 30, 40,000 on that one. And these are all leads that are coming from these VA from hangups. Okay, hangups
Oh
that are
wow.
just dead. Like they're just these leads would normally not even be touched, or they would be called once, and hangups is hard to get a hold of them. So for you, I would say get a just a very basic virtual assistant. You can maybe even hire somebody just full commission for this as well, and just have them work your leads. Go through a wholesale business blueprint and look at the module. Um, I believe it's ditching the phone forever module.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I,
so have you gone through that?
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I have.
Okay. So there's an ad there that you can put up, and you can literally get people to work for you on 100% commission, especially if you don't have money to pay them initially. And just have them work the leads. It shows you how to track everything, how to track their work, how to make sure that they're making offers, how to keep them accountable, and that's the best way because a lot of people their biggest thing is time, and they don't have time to do the work, and that's why we structure. in our mentoring, in our coaching, and in our courses, and our systems, how to build a business so that you never talk to sellers. I haven't talked to sellers in 6 years. I mean,
Wow.
every now and then I just kind of meet him or thank him for for the transaction or whatever. But that's the way I built the business to where you never have to talk to them.
That's
And
awesome.
that's what I want you to do. I mean, at worst case, if you can spend $1,000 a month on marketing, drop that, go through the module and use the ad to attract one of those sales reps that can work for you 100% commission, or get a virtual assistant for $5 an hour
Okay.
and have her make sure that they speak good English. Go to the virtual assistant training in the module in the course, and basically get him on Mojo and get him talking to sellers. And then all you get to do, this is how it should look like when you get home, or maybe all you got to do is you look at your how many leads you have, and you maybe have like 3 or 4 or 5 leads that you need to talk to and call them and making them offer. Okay.
Okay.
And at that point, like now you're taking action at that point, right? You're not just like at a standstill, because here's the thing.
Right.
Momentum is key.
Okay.
Momentum is key. And when you did that $10,000 deal, you had momentum. You started building momentum. And then here's the thing about momentum though. When you lose it, it's really hard to get back, or sometimes you never get it back, right? Depends on the situation. But right now, what you need to do, you need to start taking little action steps. Maybe put the ad out for that VA, or whatever. Get him on Mojo. Drop a little marketing. Get him to start talking to sellers and sending you the leads that only qualify, right? The ones that actually want to sell, so that you're not on there all day long.
All
And
right.
now you're going to start building momentum. You're going to start making offers. And one of them, like I said, if leads are coming in and offers are going out, something's going to happen. You're going to do deals as long as you're consistent. So that's the
Okay.
biggest thing I would say for you. It's especially because I know you're working, but you really want to do this business. You need to bring in somebody to help you out, to field the calls and only give you the ones that are quality.
Okay. And we can
And then
connect with Audio. Is that
yeah,
how I could connect with that person?
you're gonna put him to work on Podio, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or what was your question
All
again?
right. Oh, I mean, how do I connect with that person and find out that they're getting the leads? It's all through Podio.
Go through the Ditch the Phone Forever module. Everything's in there.
Oh, it'll tell you. Yeah.
Absolutely
Okay.
everything. It's in everything from where to find these people, how to hire them, what ad to use, the email responses that you can copy paste literally, the interview questions. I even do an interview live that you can see there. Um,
Okay.
Everything's there. How to track them, how to track their work, how to make sure they're making calls, how to make sure they're being effective. Everything is in that module.
All right.
And then if you have any
Yeah, I
questions,
will.
just shoot an email to support and we'll help you out. Because I want
Okay.
to see
Yeah. For
you.
sure.
I mean, you already got a deal. Like I want, and I know that if we're having this conversation, I'm a big believer in, kind of like not. I believe in fate. Let's just put it that way. So I know that if we're having this conversation, there's a big purpose here for you. So I
Right.
know, I kind of know that that there's something like there's good things ahead for you, but you got to take action. Like it's not going to
Right.
happen by just kind of thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
cool, man.
definitely.
Cool, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing for some more buyers, and then just keep marketing. Just stay on top of all the marketing.
The buyers are easy. All right. Don't worry too much about the buyers.
Okay.
Buyers are easy. I mean, you want to have buyers. You got to have buyers, but it's not. I mean, the reality is, right now, this market is so easy for buyers. Everybody wants deals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, if you get a deal, you don't have a buyer, just let me know. I'll help you sell it. We'll sell it in a heartbeat.
All
But
right. Yeah.
the best thing is like worry about starting to take action. Like maybe do one campaign for buyers. That's all you need, really. Maybe we do like one campaign every 6 months for buyers
Oh, and in every market, like if you go
in
to a
every
different
market.
market.
Yeah. In every market that we're in, we drop for buyers every 6 months because there's churn. There's people that are leaving the game, and there's new guys coming in. and I want to make sure that
Oh,
I have them all on my list. Yeah, so we
okay.
do it every 6 months, and we don't really worry about it. So do it once, get some buyers, and then
Okay.
focus on getting deals.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I am. I think about it every day. Oh man, I'm just like, man, I gotta really put the time to it, and just do it.
Well, you
Even if
did
I
it
have to miss.
once. You already did it
Right.
once. So you can do it again. And now it's just rinse and repeat. Now you got better systems, and all you got to
Right.
do is implement. You really
Okay.
got to implement. Nobody can force you to do that. There's nothing I could say that can magically get all these systems in place. You actually need to do it, right, and just
Okay.
make
Yeah.
it happen.
Okay.
Well, all right, brother. I want to do a follow up call. We'll schedule it out maybe in a month or two. I'll have Shelly hit you up and see kind of where you're at. Hopefully, this will kind of give you some accountability, and you can start by the next call. At least you'll say, "Okay, I need to talk to Luigi. I better have something to say, or otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen." But
Yeah.
so I'll schedule out another call in about a month or two, and then yeah, man, anything you need, just reach out to support. But the main thing you need, just to recap, your issue is time. So you need to bring in somebody. I'm sure you don't want to be talking on the phone, right? Or do you like talking on the phone? You don't care?
Yeah. I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really. I mean, yeah.
So then your
I could
biggest
start.
thing is getting somebody to help you to field the calls and just give you the ones that actually matter, so that you can
Okay.
make offers on them, right? That's the big focus. And how can you do that? You can either ditch the phone forever module to the T,
Okay.
or go to the virtual assistant training and hire a VA for $5 an hour, get her on Mojo, and have her calling all day long, every single day.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. I will. I'll go
Uh,
through. I mean, I went through it already briefly, but I felt like I was way too ahead, so I was like, I better go back to the beginning and
yeah,
start, with the
yeah,
mailings and stuff. Worry about that later. But yeah, I'll go
absolutely.
through it. Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Really
Sounds good, brother.
appreciate it.
Sounds good, man. Thank you for coming on the call, man. And I look forward to your success.
Cool. Thank you.
Congratulations on closing that $10,000 deal, brother. That's something
Thank
to
you, man.
celebrate. All right.
Yeah, thanks for all your help, man. I'm glad you have a course like this. Everybody should. I don't even really want to tell my friends because I want to do it first before I tell them, hey, well, I got
Absolutely.
this guy's. You know what I mean?
So, Sean, for
Um,
anybody that's on the fence that may think this is a scam, or that doesn't work, or it's not for them, like, what would you tell them?
I tell them, no, this is not a scam at all. This is real estate, and you really can make money in real estate. And I see the shelf behind me. I got a few courses back there, and none of them are as good as Luigi's, man. None of them, especially for the price that he charges. It should be 5 times what he's charging for what I paid for the information that he gave me. And I made that money quick without hardly any effort. So it's
Awesome,
the
brother.
real deal.
Awesome,
Sure.
brother. Sean, my man,
Yeah.
can't wait to hear more about what you're doing here in a couple months. Take care, my man. God bless, and reach out if you need anything. All right.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I
Thank you for
appreciate it.
taking
Nice
the
talking.
time, brother. You too, man.
Okay. See you
Peace.
soon.